Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to Free For All. It's your source for all things geek. I'm defeated again by Evan Swafford raising the roof.
I don't know why that defeats you.
You think you would have built up an immunity at this point?
No.
No one builds up immunity to raising the roof.
I mean, I
Gets
have.
you hype.
It does indeed get you hype.
You didn't get hyped just now.
Trey Elliott's hype, though.
Yo.
See? How hype? Chuck Nally?
Hi.
What's up?
Woo!
We're all clearly
I'm
hyped.
Time to talk about some of the games we've been playing.
Yeah, it's been 2 months.
It is What's New to You. Evan, let's jump right on in. What the hell is Clumsy Climber?
It's a catch-up game. It's a good one, too.
God, you know what? I don't have it in me.
Yeah, you do. Don't fucking bail. This is a thing we do. Commit to the bit.
All right, fine. So, let me get my thinking cap on here.
They got stupid Coheed head off the.
That drip
shit.
douche.
Such a shit. All right, so Clumsy Climber it's black and white. No, you know what?
Not black and
It's
white.
not black and white.
Revolutionary.
It's got a blue background, like the sky,
Okay.
but it's a black and white mountainside that takes up about half the screen.
Okay.
And you're a stick figure who is trying to climb, but is for some reason enamored, or not enamored, but a little bit, let's say drunk.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, okay?
Inebriated, was that the.
Inebriated was the word that I couldn't come up with on the top of my head. Thank you very much, you douche. And so you've got to tap in very specific spots that show up a split second before you would fall.
Yeah, split second.
God damn it. Almost like you're trying to find the handhold, but you're drunk, so it's harder, and the screen, the mountainside is like moving back and forth.
That was stupid.
No.
What's Clumsy Climber, Evan?
You're a monkey.
I will thank you not to use such language toward me, but go ahead.
And you just see the monkey's back, and there is a bunch of sticks and moving parts and ladders, and basically you
Banana
just
peels?
no, actually coins.
Because that's what monkeys
Every
do.
monkey's favorite.
Yeah,
Shiny objects.
Well, the coins allow you to gather and then hit the random button, in which you get funny hats to put on your monkey.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
It is. It's a fun ass game, man. You have to continue going further and further up for each level. I'm on level like 32, but yeah, you have to swing and you use momentum. So like if you do a short grab, you don't have as much momentum, and you have to tap for every like handhold. And if you miss, you start falling, and you have to grab something. And then after you start the level, sea level starts rising, and the ocean's chasing you up. So if you don't climb fast enough, you will be put underwater.
Just hang out.
It's a lot of fun.
Well,
I
there you
highly
go.
recommend
It's a
this catch-up game.
So that's
It's
not surprising.
It's a top 10 catch-up game, I would call it,
Oh shit.
Well, there's a geek sheet.
because there's like 100 of them.
There's a lot.
There's some bad ones.
Well, all right then. Nobody else has been playing any of their mobile games, though?
I mean, I'm sure Chuck played like 1,000.
Nope.
I've been
you
playing
can't
some
remember.
Tap Sports baseball, but that's about it.
No.
Yeah, Tap Sports.
Sports, Simpsons, and Fallout Shelter. There's a lot more to do on Shelter now, so.
The check of Chuck. You always play that shit.
Well, not Fallout Shelter. That's been recent,
That's fair.
because there's a bunch of new stuff.
No.
You know what I'm going to talk about since Josh is joining?
All right, then.
They added quests. Once you get an Overseer's room in there, you can send 3 people out on quests at a time and bring back schematics for rare and legendary weapons and outfits that you can craft with junk that you can also collect and scrap from your weapons and other outfits that you don't like. And they added some other cool new things.
Didn't they have that?
Trey, get
for
off
launch?
Tap
They had
Sports.
something similar.
I don't think so.
I remember sending
You
people
can
out
send-
for supplies.
You can
and
send
stuff
people
like
out to
that.
the wastelands, but not specifically on quests.
This is a new
Okay.
thing. I saw a news update
Quest
about
is
it.
like when you get there, it looks like a Fallout shelter, but it's a building like out in the wasteland, and you go through it, and there will be rad scorpions or raiders or whatever. There's even certain quests that they give you that are daily or weekly that are special. That'll give you a special like named weapon. Like I got Pew Pew the other day, and the Wazer Rifle. I got one of those. But they had like special perks and stuff.
God bless you, Bethesda.
I know, I love them so much. Fuck you, Warner Brothers. Anyway,
Take
yeah,
that.
it's
Team Bethesda.
It's pretty good. But like one of them was like a game show where it actually asks you trivia about the Fallout universe, and if you get it right, they don't attack you at all. You just go through and loot.
Did you get it
That's
right?
funny.
Yes, of course.
I just wanted to make sure.
Son of a bitch.
Good.
Huh?
Yeah.
I gotta check.
The gear shift.
Well, that was new. All right.
Was
okay.
it?
3 for all.
3 for all.
Oh, that was awful. Let's talk about Hollow Knight.
3 for all.
All right, let's talk about Hollow Knight.
How much have you played?
Probably about 4 hours.
What do you think?
It's a good game. Like, people are like raving about like it's this like revolutionary Metroidvania game. It's a solid Metroidvania game that like I went in from the reviews thinking like Ori, and like Ori shits on this game, but it's a very good game.
I don't think Ori shits on it. I think it's a different style of Metroidvania game.
It's very simple.
So it's I don't
hard
agree,
combat.
I
but
don't
simple.
agree that it's simple. It is a very specific style. I think it's a brilliant game.
You're basically just playing a fucking giant maze.
It's a very hard to navigate game. Have you actually fought any of the bigger bosses or anything yet? Gotten any like extra powers
Like
or anything?
a boss fight? Yeah, I've done a boss fight.
Like the mini ones or like the actual big ones?
Big one. I got like some shooting, like some powers where I can.
You can
like force project stuff.
Projectile, yeah. There's that. Do you have the like dash or anything like that?
I don't have. I need dash because there's 1,000 things I can't get that I've passed because of dash.
It's in the green path.
I'm almost to the end of the like moss zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the one thing about the game is it's not, which I thought it was initially, is procedurally generated. It's not. It's a very specific map. I think the charm of it is just really fucking cool. I love the graphic style. This was a Kickstarter game that is just now, as of August, finishing up all of its promised stretch goal content.
$15, it's a very good deal.
It's great. It's definitely incredibly difficult, but like I have a lot of fun with it. There's a lot of
it's simple combat for the most part too.
But it's a lot of like managing your position.
Oh, very much so.
And like being able to parry and knowing when to parry and how to use your attacks. But the game does not hold your hand in any way, which I like a lot, but it makes it really difficult.
Spend a lot of time wandering around going, I don't know what to do next.
Yeah. In the same areas. But basically, so you are traveling in this like underground dungeon, basically below this
I didn't
city.
like that when you get to a new area, you have to go buy like a new map and all the abilities, like to put, it's.
So I mean, you can get like a pen basically to be able to chart your own map, and if you go to a bench for like the save points,
it updates.
It updates with some of the areas you went to. But yeah, to fully unlock the map, you need to get that. The only thing that bothers me is the compass that you can get is actually an item slot that takes up some of your other abilities.
Right.
And if you don't have that, it's almost impossible to know where you are within the map. But I get why they did it. I mean, it's just adding again to the overall difficulty of the game.
I see myself mindlessly playing this like on trips and stuff for a long time, but maybe never finishing it.
I don't know if I'll ever finish it because I just don't know if I'm good enough at it. Is my problem. Like
I end up lost a lot.
Do you have the compass?
Yes, I think so.
So I don't get lost as much, and like there are some little tricks the game doesn't teach you. Like if you double tap the map button, it'll actually pull up the full map instead of just the area that you're in, and you don't have to like hold the button to walk around
because it's annoying.
Yeah, so if you double tap it, it'll actually pull up like everything you've seen, so you can get a better idea of where you haven't visited. You can buy markers that you can put on the map so that you know where certain things are. I assume you found the stag transport.
Yeah, I've got all that stuff. Yeah, and I can mark the map with 2 different colors of stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, it definitely lets you play the game the way you want to. Like one of the hardest bosses in the game you can find within the first 15 minutes. I can't beat that fucker. It's really difficult. I don't even think I'm supposed to be there yet because I don't have the wall jump, but I found a way to get around. But basically, it's like this little worm blob or whatever that's in the middle of a map, and he spits like goo at you from like straight up, and then
that sounds like
jumps
a dick.
and has like these crazy like blades. I can't remember what he's called.
Yeah, I haven't found that yet.
Yeah,
he's early on somehow.
Yeah, so you know the giant tower area you can go to where the green path is.
Yeah,
below the green path, I want to say. If you go there, there's like a little room with a couple of like platforming balls.
You're not supposed to be able to get up there.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about, and I can't get up there.
So when you get past the platforming ledges, there's like a little spire there that has like spikes on each side. If you down swipe on the spikes, you'll bounce off of them. So if you hit it right, you could just down swipe on them, jump to the other spike, and then jump above it, and then you can make it there.
I don't gotta do that.
It's really fucking. It's not difficult platforming. It's difficult the boss that you fight after that. But like, I mean, I like it because every boss gives you a new power type thing, and like it's very much like Sundered was for me last year. Only Sundered was even crazier because
that was procedurally generated.
It was procedurally generated, and
it threw like a billion enemies.
God, I never beat that game because it just eventually got to the point where it's like I can't take another 60,000 enemies hitting me at one time. But yeah, I'm really having fun with it.
It's a good game.
If we didn't have so many games coming out in the next 3 months, I'd probably finish it. But like right now, it's great to just kind of play. It's almost like Celeste was for me, but Celeste became more about perfecting.
It is very similar. It's very similar to what Celeste was for me.
Also, man,
Celeste was better, I think.
Did you watch like any of the Games Done Quick, the Summer Games Done Quick stuff?
No.
It's always fun to watch like some speedrunners, but there was like a race that they did for Celeste. Top level speedrunners are insane.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Like, beat the first mission of Celeste in like 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, it took me like an hour.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, Hollow Knight's a ton of fun. It's $15. All the DLC is free, so like everything that comes with the Switch version is automatically included, except for the new content that drops August 23rd is apparently also still free, which looks cool. It's they call it the final update, so we'll see what comes after that. But people should give it a shot if they like Metroidvanias or games that are challenging. You guys want to talk about Far Cry 5 finally?
Yeah.
I mean, for the 5th time?
Trey, you're never going to finish this game.
Probably not.
All right.
Let's talk about the story then, I guess.
Yeah. Because some of it, you had finished this and you talked about it very vaguely because I was about halfway through when you finished it.
Yeah, and the ending is not to be spoiled if you don't want to spoil.
Yeah, so like tune out for just a minute.
10-ish minutes?
5 minutes, yeah.
5, okay.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Like,
turns out the father was right.
Jesus is in the game?
Well, what if like the guy claiming to be a prophet of Jesus kind of knows something that's going on? Did he do it, or was he just right that it happened?
I think he was right. I don't think he did it.
I think he did it
because it happened. Like he didn't like push a button. There's a nuclear blast.
Holocaust.
Holy
like
shit.
you've beaten the father. You're at the end game, and you're putting him in cuffs, and you're like, yeah, I beat this dick. Nuke. And you're just like, oh my, and you have to run. You get in a car and you have to outrun the nuclear blast coming towards you as trees are blowing away like past you, this fire sweeping in, and you have to get to a shelter where you end up just you and the father locked away in a shelter for all time.
Because you wake up and he kills the guy who starts I forgot his name. Who's the guy in the first bunker? That leads you for like a third of the game, I guess.
Yeah, I also can't remember.
Yeah, but he's dead, and so it's just you and the father, and he wants to like start the world over again.
That's pretty fucking crazy.
It's amazing. Like, it's so good.
How much did your jaw drop when
I woke J-Lo up because I just started going, oh shit, and I had headphones on, so I had no idea I was being loud. I was like, Leighton was starting to stir because it was late at night, and I was just playing. I was just like, oh my god,
because it happens like right behind him, and he's just kind of sitting there smiling at you.
He's talking to you about like how he was going to be proven right, and then just the nukes start going off, and like you're like, what is happening?
That's pretty cool.
Everybody, like your buddies that you've made. Like you thought you finally won, they melt.
Yep.
It's one of the best endings to a video game ever.
That's
it is
fucking
so
impressive.
Good. I flipped out.
One of the cool things about it too is after you beat the game, when you start it back up, the title screen that's all peaceful and in the Montana wilderness or whatever is just in flames. It's charred black in flames.
That's awesome.
It's really funny.
Overall, that game was a really solid game.
I liked it a lot. I thought it relied a little too much on the visions and the bliss and whatever Jacob was doing to you up north, which you didn't have a hard time with. Turns out, don't go to Jacob's area first.
Yeah, you go to it third, and it's not hard at all.
Yeah, it was very, very difficult for me because I only had like 2 or 3 health bars. And I got hit like 5 times and I would die.
Yeah, you go John, then what's her name? Faith,
yeah,
and then Jacob.
Yeah, turns out John was super easy though. I just blazed right through.
If you can fly a plane, then John's not that hard.
So, who's your favorite companions?
I mean, Herc's the funniest.
Herc is really funny. Him and
Sharky together are amazing.
Is really funny.
But it's counterintuitive to the way I played a lot of the game because you cannot stealth with Herc and Sharky. Like you'll be sneaking.
Adeline.
Yeah,
Adeline's
you'll be just sneaking up, and then he's like, "Oh shit, man!" And then he just blows it. Yeah, you see a rocket flying, you're like, "Well, start shooting." Which towards the end of the game, I just tried it that way, and it turns out it was really successful. I would usually have one of them, and then I was switching out people a lot. I'd start with the dog, spot a bunch of people. And
switch
then
them out,
bring in some type of aerial support just to start doing bombing runs. Either the
Adeline was strong, but man, her helicopter's weak. She got shot out.
So weak. I like to do Nick with the plane, and he just did strafing runs.
Yeah.
Did him, and then I usually like Herc or Sharky just to start wrecking shop, and then I'd then usually switch to Cheeseburger to bring it home.
Oh man, Cheeseburger!
He is a wrecking ball.
Yo,
Cheeseburger is a bear that you send in that just starts murdering people.
I've never seen that on the previews or whatever.
He'll rip through fences and like
he's unstoppable. It's so good.
I like using him and Peaches together because Peaches is like super stealthy.
Yeah, stealth murder machine.
Yeah, she's the panther.
Yeah,
Cougar. Oh, mountain lion. Sorry.
Yeah. Also,
yeah.
No, Far Cry. I enjoyed Far Cry 5 a lot.
It's fun. I downloaded
the top 10 lock for me.
Oh sure, yeah, I think so too.
The DLC's been getting some mediocre reviews.
Well, Mars hasn't come out yet, has it?
The reviews hit today, and not getting awesome reviews.
Okay.
Not bad, but kind of just mediocre. Everybody just says it's kind of boring.
I gotcha. Well, I mean,
I'm gonna play it though. I think I'm gonna play it. So
yeah.
I'll probably
just, log in as
I'm gonna try.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try that. Are you watching the ending?
Yeah, it's listed as, so I've seen all Far Cry 5 endings / good, bad, and nuclear. So maybe there are other endings.
Maybe I don't know.
This is listed as the bad ending. Is this what you saw?
Well, I mean, it goes on for a while. That's not.
Yeah, we'll check that out afterwards. Yeah. I'd be interested to see what else happens.
Yeah.
I know there's an option where it says you give in to the father.
I think that just happened. It went all white.
Yep.
There
you got nuked.
Oh, okay. That would really fucking
If you're
suck.
not expecting it, you were like, what is happening?
Yeah.
It's God, it's so
that guy
good.
was really good as the lead, by the way.
They seem to really nail their villains really well with the series in general, which is really cool.
I enjoyed the whole family like a lot.
Cool. Faith was a little tame, I guess, but seeing like walking around her area and all of a sudden seeing her like in the corner
when
of your
she just pop up.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit. And then you'd run at her and she'd disappear and it'd turn into like a bear or a fucking crazy ass wolf or something.
Yeah. It was incredible. And those Bliss hopped up animals sucked. Judges.
And the people.
Yeah.
So how many judges were there? There's the moose, the
bear. We are past the 5-minute mark, by the way, so no more spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just hit it.
The moose, bear, wolf, and something. There's 4, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right. So, cool.
Far Cry 5, good game.
Which is cool. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about, and Evan is just talking for all of this.
Play a lot of games.
You and I played The Crew 2.
Yeah, we did.
The beta, at least, which turns out roughly 40% of the game.
Probably. It's almost half of the game if you just play all of the beta.
That game is mindless and fun.
It is. It's a solid game. It did nothing to sell me on it. I enjoyed it. They did away with the best part of their original The Crew, which was the navigation, like above head. That went away. I don't know why.
Yeah, which I know was your favorite part. For me,
it was awesome.
It was nice to have, but I mean, there's less waypointing in this game, it feels like.
And if you did want a waypoint, it kind of sucked.
It wasn't great, for sure.
Like, no line. You just kind of had a thing like on your map and just head in that general direction. Like there was no like turn here.
Yeah, it's not. That. I mean, finding you in the game was a little annoying when we first started, and then having to like go.
What about the time where we started on opposite ends of the country in 2 separate planes and drove at one another for like a half an hour, and then the plan was to stun over one. Like one person goes turn to the side, and I turn the other way.
We were gonna tap like wheels against each other, and communication wasn't there, and we just fucking
Josh
turned
our wings. I waited too late. Somehow, after all that time, I found him in midair, and we hit head on.
So basically, every time we play GTA.
Yes, but this was a little bit more impressive because it was a long time.
Like it was like California to like we met somewhere in about the Wisconsin area. Like,
it was amazing.
It does take a long time to get across that map. We played till about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's scaled down from the first one. Like it's not quite as to scale as the original United States in Crew 1.
Funky, deformed version of the U.S. where Florida
takes up
500,000 miles wide.
Florida takes up at least 25% of America in that.
How's Chattanooga?
Not in this one.
Yeah, non-existent this time.
But they.
I'm out on this game.
So the driving's solid. They did add in a lot of different, like there's different types of air vehicles. There's a lot of different types of boats.
Yeah, the boats were fun.
The ability to switch on the fly, quick switching, is really fun. You basically, as you earn vehicles, you can assign 3, and like as you're like, I could be flying an airplane and then quick switch, and like you morph into a car and you just fall, or you could like if you're over the ocean, you just morph into a boat, fall a mile to the sea, and then just take off.
Like
literally, it doesn't do a
not transform.
Like you just snap and you're in the fucking car.
So there's no like transformation.
It's like
type.
you see like a poof.
Man, even
like a cartoon fucking like.
Yeah,
even
kinda.
like that fucking Sonic All-Star Racers game at least had some animation.
But I mean, that's neither here nor there.
Like you're changing your vehicle. This is like you're actually switching to an entirely new vehicle on the fly.
Still make some sort of animation.
It's fine what it is. It's actually a fun mechanic in the game.
If they had done like a Rico thing where he like jumps out of the plane and like
stunt jump.
Yeah,
and
like stunt jumps and tethers onto a boat that happens to have been dropped from a.
God, I'm excited for Just Cause.
On plenty of occasions, I definitely just decided to switch to a boat on land. Drive in my car.
You did.
Not a whole lot happens. You just stop and you can't move anywhere.
Josh got frustrated with not being able to beat me.
Yeah, we did play the same race about 15 straight times. I eventually won. I don't know. It's a fun game, but yeah, definitely not one I would pay $60 for. Not one that I think has enough.
I look forward to it being on Games with Gold one day.
That would be fun. I could do.
It's a solid game. You basically unlock certain like you go to the off-road section, and then you have to earn like different levels of the off-road thing for different vehicles and stuff like that.
It gave me shades of playing Forza Horizon 3 again, but nowhere near as good.
Forza Horizon, the Horizon games are a lot better than this.
The world felt more dense in Forza than this does. This is a bigger world, but there's a lot of just wide open desert spaces.
There are a whole lot, and I would say that at least the flying mechanic is super easy, which I enjoy. Like. It's not very technical, and we picked it up immediately, and we were in Vegas.
We had a lot of fun flying under like bridges and archways and things like that in Vegas, trying to do stunt jumping or stunt flying. And I liked the whole you got a formation bonus when you're with your crew when you were earning like
that's cool.
The whole thing is you're earning followers on some unspecified social media. Like literally nothing is more lazy than the way they've integrated that level up system in this game, but I mean it gives you a reward and you get a reward.
It's easy to understand how to do it, and it's fine.
I think I flew upside down within 5 feet of the ground for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's not hard.
But yeah, it's not a game that I don't think anybody should be rushing out for like Game of the Year list or anything like that.
Nope.
One that I think is going to be on lead up to a game that's going to be on a few Game of the Year lists: The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit.
Yeah.
This is the prequel of sorts to Life is Strange Season 2?
Not of sorts. It is a prequel.
Am I the only one who didn't finish this?
I also didn't.
Okay. I mean, I'm fine with you spoiling whatever's there, because from what
I won't go into, like, deep spoilers for it.
Did you play it, Chuck?
Nope.
At all?
I downloaded it.
Okay.
Nope. I've also have it downloaded. I just haven't played it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
went full tray.
month before it's out.
Yeah, the game comes out next month, so...
We should talk about it.
Yeah, that's fine. You're welcome to talk about it.
I do recommend playing this before Life is Strange Season 2 comes out.
I'm going to go back and finish it.
I thought this was more of just a segue of like introducing that, hey, there are other characters out there, but this is the Life is Strange universe.
Yeah.
But Life is Strange 2 will focus. I don't know if you were the lead character, but it is the boy in this, Captain Spirit, is a lead character in Life is Strange 2.
Okay.
So this didn't hook me like Life is Strange Season 1 did. I don't think it's not bad in any way. It definitely has that Life is Strange feel to it. I just think that like not enough is going on because it's such a very limited, like you can finish it in an hour.
You did not play enough. There is a lot going on.
Is there? Because it didn't feel like it. They really fumbled some important topics.
You get a list of what to do, and that you don't have to complete them all. You can go straight to basically the end scene of this game once you get like the initial like have to do task, which is not much.
I mean, I was going through everything I could on the list. There was only like 5 things.
The map, there's 9 things on it.
Well, I mean, I was doing everything I could.
Yeah, I mean, but there's certain stuff. Some of it's not. You have to like figure out the code of how to unlock your cell phone, and you can play a mini game within the game called Hot Dog Man, which I rule that.
Okay.
But
it's a catch-up game.
Yeah, basically, it 100% is a catch-up game. I mean, you're playing as a boy who
lost his mother.
Yeah, slight spoilers for the story that you'll find out extremely quickly. That. He lost his mom. He's living with his dad, who is really struggling. He was once like a star basketball player and coach, and he's like, since his mom died, like he's clearly an angry alcoholic. Like you found that out quickly. There are some heavy themes in it. You are a boy that is struggling to kind of reconcile your lost relationship with your mom, loving your dad, and like you find like if you go out throughout the game, you'll find letters from like your grandparents offering to take you, and who are very understanding, and not angry at your dad, but offering to take you. And he's like, I can never leave my dad. He's like, no matter what he's doing, he needs me. And so there are some heavy moments. There's a lot of like fun, just kid stuff of him imagining the whole thing is him playing a superhero. There are some like once you get your superhero outfit on, a lot of the game's finding your superhero outfit. There's a thing in your room to activate, basically where you can activate your power. So there are fun stuff of him, like you hold A and the screen starts to shake as he's like concentrating on something, but he's really like turning on the TV and stuff like that. It's very like childlike, like wonder in it that I thought they did really well. And the whole game is built up like you have these allies and there's this nefarious like super villain that you're going after, and it's a lot of it is like allegory and tones to represent like what he's going through in life. I won't spoil the end of the game, but it opens up like cool stuff for what Life is Strange, like supernatural elements and stuff like that too. But at the end, it very much leads directly into Life is Strange 2.
Yeah. The alcoholism and the like potential things that the father does, like I don't think they handled, in my opinion, all that well. I think it's a little heavy-handed at times. I think that it's a little in between the narrative they want. Like it's 1 foot in the playful, 1 foot in the serious, and it doesn't feel as natural to me personally.
I think you had to finish the game to really fully comment on that.
That's fair,
because most of like him actually dealing with it happens in the final cutscene of the game,
which is fine. Yeah, I mean, I'll admit, yeah, not having finished it, I don't have the same perspective you do on this. It just for me, like once I played the first hour of it or so, I didn't feel compelled to go back. I was trying to play it all at one time when it first dropped, and I just didn't get a chance to do so. I will go back before Life is Strange Season 2 comes out, because I, as of now, still plan on playing Life is Strange. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad you liked it, and I mean, they have a charm about them in those games that if you like them,
yeah,
they definitely
it
hit that.
brings a smile to my face.
Yeah, which is good.
I just think that after the past 2 games, Josh really didn't like the first Life is Strange. I think he lied to himself.
I didn't play the Chloe one, so
Thank you.
that doesn't mean anything.
Means
you know
all.
what? This is Chuck being Chuck. I need to let it go.
Hashtag mouthy.
He's out.
You guys played Unravel 2.
Yeah.
I haven't
talk
beat
about
this
one.
yet,
I
but I
haven't
don't really
I
think.
haven't either. I'm
You guys really
just
need to
beat
get
level
on it
4.
with the video games.
I haven't played it
seriously.
because of the
I'm on level 6.
other shitty thing Sony has done, which is fighting. Well, it's not actually Sony on this one, but fighting with Amazon. I can't buy with my gift card anything on Sony on Amazon at all.
Wow, they're on
That
quite
sucks.
the tear, eh?
My
Amazon wants more profit. Sony
my
wants more.
one down thing to this game is I felt that it was a little misleading on the co-op. Like it kind of seemed that there
Online
was
should
going to
be
be
a thing.
online, and it really should be a thing.
That was
Very much should be.
That was unfortunate. Yeah.
And I think it probably will be at some point in this game. Like I could see them easily patching that in.
The couch co-op is great though.
I wish I could experience that, because I guess I can talk about it differently because I've only played by myself.
Yeah.
And I have never played by myself.
Me neither.
So
I am blowing through this game. I've only got to sit down twice, and I'm on level 6. And I haven't played super long either time. I haven't felt the puzzles were super hard, but by myself, like I don't go through the struggles of being like, hold the fucking rope.
Yeah.
there's a little bit of that, especially I played with Lane, and he's
I'm playing with
9.
Freeman.
Yeah,
so
you're playing
it's
with
even-
children. So.
Freeman was 6 when we started playing this. Now he's 7. That's how long we've been playing.
My God, forever.
It's good
Literally
though, man.
a year's worth of content.
Indeed. But no, it is not terribly long. I feel like I beat this quicker than I beat the first one. But with playing it with Lane and like letting him kind of try to figure some stuff out, and we did some of the challenge stuff.
I was gonna say I haven't touched the
in
challenge
there.
stuff. I wanted to beat the game first.
You need to beat the game first. I think it's just
Okay, because I've unlocked every challenge level like that I've
Yeah.
passed.
I
So
mean, not that you couldn't. I just, to me, it like kind of breaks up the story in a way that I didn't like. Because we at one point went in there, because of course the first time you like unlock one of those areas, you don't know what it is
Mhm.
until you get in there. And we kind of went through a couple, and I was like, I kind of want to get back to just like,
I like the fact there's a hub world
Like-
in this one.
yeah, it's fun riding up and down that little
Yeah.
elevator thingy.
Yeah, well, you had the house in the first one, but you kind of ventured out of it. But yeah, this
Yeah.
is just all at that lighthouse.
But that said, this was a really good. Lane likes to play games. I like to play games, but fuck you.
No, it's just the way, like, that's like, I don't know. I like to play games.
If you're wondering, super douchey.
Yeah, I know. It was an involuntary.
Extra super juicy.
It was
because
an involuntary
response. It's more douchey. If it was on purpose, it would be less douchey. That's the thing Chuck would do.
I also think, first of all, proud of you, Josh. Second of all, I'm pretty sure Trey just said juicy. Juicy.
He did. I heard it too.
Okay, good.
I mean, it's subliminal at this point. They're subconscious.
I don't think you know what subliminal means.
Words are
Maybe
hard.
if we
Anyways,
like
go ahead.
games more.
Anyways, point being, there are very few games
You can play together.
that we both like enough to sit down and beat the entire game together.
The anti-knack.
Correct. Knack 2, a little bit better, but still not what I would call an enjoyable experience.
Tolerable.
Whereas this was definitely fun, like figuring out all the puzzles together, and there is a lot of like you're in this game, you're obviously connected by a piece of yarn, and like being able to there's like one puzzle in particular that I always like think about where there's basically like a furnace and there's fire, and you have to like one of you has to hang down and the other one has to kind of walk so far, and then you drop down farther, and then you go over some more, and then you have to climb up a little bit, and it's like weaving your way through this fire maze essentially.
Yeah.
And like the communication that you have to have with the two people on the couch, I feel like is what makes that game fun.
Yeah, and
So
whereas
you're missing out on the part to me that was the fun part.
and well, by myself, yeah, I can kind of go through that. I mean, it's still fun to kind of figure out that mechanic.
Oh yeah.
Like the one mechanic that took me longer than like a second to figure out was like I couldn't, if I jumped down to help push this up, I couldn't get back up over here. Like I needed something, so I had to figure out to go up with one person, loop over so the string's hanging there,
Right.
and then go back. So when I climb up,
That is
it
the
pulls him
hardest
back up.
Like puzzle type. To
Yeah,
figure out
once
for
I
sure.
figured that out, like I've yet to run into an obstacle that hasn't been that hard. But the puzzles are all enjoyable, at least I would say. No.
What's up, girl?
Yeah. But I've enjoyed it's a very charming game. It's a beautiful game. Like I've got it as my background on my Xbox now from screenshot I took. Like it looks gorgeous. I love that art style.
Love the music.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it a lot.
Music's really good in this.
I would say I did
Subtle.
I felt
It
like
is subtle.
it's never like a big like heavy-handed story, but I liked the first one, how it kind of had these quotes going along, like how it all revolved around yarn, like how life is, like a piece of yarn, it can unravel too far, and come apart. Anyways, they say it much more eloquently than what I just did. That was kind of missing in this one, I felt. You get like the shadow, like background story of the family that you're, your owner, I guess. Or the boy that it represents. You still get that in this one, but you don't get like all the direct quotes and stuff, which I liked in the first one.
Yeah, I do agree. At least that feels like what you're saying is the first one was a better game.
From a story standpoint, I think maybe the puzzles are a little more fun this time. Maybe not as challenging, but maybe more fun. I've had a lot of fun swinging, holding by the fact that there's two of you. I've had a lot, and you can customize what you look like and the color of your yarn. I've enjoyed that too.
So I didn't realize that until like after we'd beaten the game that you could do that.
I paused one night because Jayla came in and talked to me, and I was like half listening and watching the TV, just playing and being like, and I was like, oh, you can change.
Yeah, I had no idea. I think that the first Unravel is a better game. I think that I had more fun playing this one.
I would agree with that assessment.
So definitely,
That's cool. Charles.
definitely solid.
You concur, sir.
Fuck that turkey thing.
That was fun, man. I enjoyed
Fucking
it.
story.
I enjoyed running from that thing. That was fun.
I like running from the fish more. So
I was gonna say that fish. Fuck that fish, man.
he was tenacious.
It was terrifying.
It was, especially at first. Oh shit!
You bounce off of it, and he's like, "Wah!" I was like, "Holy shit! It's like a bass." I was like, "Run, Evan!" I would be so mad if I had another player with me and I had no control over him. Because on mine, I just always because on single player. Instead of like having to constantly switch back and forth and pull the other player along, there's a mechanic. I think it's like the left button or left trigger. If you walk up and stand next to it while you're controlling one and you hit it while facing the other one, they'll jump up and like they basically merge.
Combine, right?
Yeah, they merge onto
you. You can do that when you're playing two players too.
Oh, okay.
Like there would be a few spots where it was like some really intricately like timed swings and stuff like that.
And you're like,
Lane would
Lane,
get
hop
frustrated
on.
after like 7 times. And I'll be honest, there was a couple of times where Lane clearly like
felt
better. The timing, and I couldn't get it, so I would combine with him. And we didn't do it a ton, but
what the fuck, really? You think we're gonna buy that?
I just had flashbacks to the Grand Theft Auto raid in the basement of the server farm when you did not understand how to play that mini game.
A way out and trying to climb up the side of that vent or whatever was not fun either.
Me and Chuck did that in one try.
I forgot.
Actually, I think it was a half a try.
So.
Half a try?
Yeah.
All right then.
Super
Evan,
douchey.
let's move on to the second last game of the week. I need to know what the hell Assault Android Cactus is.
It's a Games with Gold game, sir.
Yes, but what is it?
It's a twin stick shooter.
Is it multiplayer?
It is couch co-op. I don't think there is online, at least.
Co-op.
No. It is.
I'll be playing this one.
It is really, really fun. It is challenging. Eventually, as you go on, like at first you're like, this is kind of easy. I'm blowing through it, and then there's enemies every fucking where. But it's just a top-down twin stick shooter.
Okay.
You are an android named Cactus, and you assault other androids.
Is this like Smash TV?
I never played Smash TV.
Oh, sounds like Smash TV.
Basically, you go to it's either a world or like a space station or somewhere where the AI over, and there are 5 like major like AIs that you have to track down areas, and they'll send a whole bunch of robots at you, and you just shoot a whole lot. It is very easy to pick up, hard to master. Like you'll get the classic like you power-ups where your gun will change, and you'll have
So there is like an
super
upgrade.
fast,
Tri-shot,
try shot stuff like
laser
that.
beams
You'll get all of that. It's not breaking the mold on anything. It just does it really well. It's a Games with Gold game that's at like an 85 on Metacritic.
Oh wow. Okay. Sounds like fun.
It is a very good. I highly recommend this game.
Yeah, it looks pretty fun.
It's fast paced, which I enjoy.
That's cool. I mean, especially for a free game, people should definitely pick it
Like
up.
you beat a level and like it doesn't take long, but you may die a lot. But if you make it through the level, that level lasted like 5 minutes.
That's cool.
Man, I wish there was another Resogun.
It reminds me a bit of Resogun. It's not as good as Resogun, but that's one of the better like games like that ever.
So much fun.
Resogun, like that's still one of my favorite like current gen games in general. I fucking love that game. Saving those damn little humans. Especially on July 4th when they were wearing little Uncle Sam outfits. It was hilarious.
Always good.
Indeed. Last game of the week though.
Not true. You forgot a game for me.
What one did I not include?
Vampire.
Oh, was that? Oh, my bad. I must have somehow overlooked
Vampire.
it. It is Vampire. Go ahead with Vampire.
Also a Don't Nod game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good.
Really?
That's a bummer.
Oh, you poor
All
guy.
right, so let me say this: there are some parts of that game that are very good, and so let me discuss those.
I
real
hear
quick.
the story is actually pretty intriguing.
It is an
And that's not me being facetious
no,
or a dick.
it's an intriguing story. There are some game like mechanics that they use that are really good. The more you try to resist being a murderous vampire that just feeds on everything, the more there is no difficulty setting. That makes the game harder for you. Like the difficulty ramps up the more you try to fight your nature as a vampire.
Oh,
So you can go longer stretches without, attacking somebody.
Yeah,
But you have
and you only choose to feed on animals
Are you
and stuff like that.
Weaker instead of
You don't have as much powers. There's more enemies basically thrown at you. Like it's just the game gets harder.
So are you?
There's
trying
less
to fight
resources. I was kind of in between. You play as a doctor. This is post World War II or kind of during World War II. And you come back and you wake up as a vampire. And like you're like in a bloodlust, you don't understand what's happening. So you see something, you don't even recognize it, and you feed, and then it's your sister, and you just murdered her.
Oh, okay.
And that's how the
Yeah.
game opens.
take that.
Which is cool. So that mechanic of like the difficulty is really good. Every person you see, like you have this vampire mode where you can like trace like blood.
Yeah.
You'll see heartbeats
Detective
like on
mode.
the yes, you see heartbeats on the other side of the map, and you can head towards that. But yes, it's basically detective mode. Every person, like every NPC, has a backstory. You can kind of see their traits, like what ailments they have, because you can kind of see like what's wrong with their blood. Are they anemic or something like that? So like they can give you more sustenance. You can figure out how to fix that. You can like everyone has a backstory. You can talk to them. It changes depending on how you play. But the more you resist killing people, the healthier they get. The more more they matter to you. The more they could help you if they kill you. Like they keep getting, or if you kill them, like they keep getting healthier, and like they're like they have love in their
tastier
life.
prospects.
So their blood is like more will give you way more benefits if you build them up and then you betray your friend and murder them. Like, it's a cool
There you
mechanic for the game.
That actually is kind of cool.
Here are the things that really suck.
Okay.
The voice acting is bad.
Okay.
Like, really fucking bad. Graphically, it never looked that great. I was never expecting that, but
yeah, I mean, it's a donut
okay.
game.
The combat is so bad that I can't play this game anymore.
How, like, I hear it opens up a little bit. That it starts off very clunky and mediocre.
It does, and I never got to where it fully opened. Like, you start earning more vampire powers, basically, which it just kind of drains the blood that you save up. Here's the problem with that. No matter how many you unlock, they never are as effective as grabbing a big, blunt object and just going and hitting X and beating people down.
I feel like that's pretty true to
Nothing
life,
is more effective than that in the game, ever. Like, everything else, like, you can try to get to, like, tactical combat, but really you should just kind of roll to the side away from when they're shooting at you and then go beat them over the head with a bat. And it gets so fucking boring. And you do the other stuff and you're like, that's cool. Okay, I've done, like, 10 vampire things and he's finally down to his last bit of health. Or I could have hit him twice with a bat. That
sucks.
Like, 8 hours into the game, that's still the case. And I was like, I like this other stuff a lot, but I can't play this combat anymore. It's really bad. Like, it got decent, like, ratings, so I thought I'd get through it. And what people like about the game is all the stuff I liked, but I can't get past how awful the combat. I just can't get past it. It's not mainly because literally the game I played before this, the two games were Far Cry and God of War, and
kind of master classes in game.
It's just, I think if I hadn't played those and I played this first, I would probably be able to go farther in it. And I'm not like, this is not fun. I just played one of the God of War. I played God of War right before this, and I can't go back to that shitty of a combat directly after it.
I kind of think that's why I don't want to play games as much anymore right now in general, is because just God of War was like.
Well, there's a lot of that level of games coming out. Hopefully,
I know. It's insane.
I'm excited to get back to that because Vampire. There was always a chance that it wasn't going to be great, and there are good parts to it, but it isn't what I needed it to be. If the combat was better, I could get past the other stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's really, really bad.
That sucks.
Like, sorry, I wouldn't recommend any of you guys playing that. You guys would be bored to death by it.
I was going to see if I could borrow it at first, but I don't
You can.
I don't want to.
Maybe you'd like it more. Here, pro tip, don't worry about vampire powers. Just go get a bat.
I got comics to read.
Just use the bat.
All right, now the final game of the week.
Yes.
All right, Detroit Become Human. This has kind of been the Josh and Evan show in terms of games talked about. We both played this. Nobody else has, right? You haven't played it. Chuck has not either, right?
I do need to borrow it from somebody at some point. I would like to play this.
You can log into my console if you want.
It is one I would say needs to be played, like for this year.
Gotcha.
For me, it so far, and I know that I haven't played a shit ton of games this year, it's potentially top 5 for me.
It won't be in my top 5, but it will be in my top 10.
It's probably it's definitely my personal favorite of the David Cage games, Quantic Dream. But it might be my favorite, like, walking sim narrative game. It has a little bit more action than something like
it's much
Ethan
more of a
Carter
Telltale game
something
than something like that.
Yeah. For me, I just like I've read a lot of the complaints people had about this game, and it reviewed pretty well in general. But
it's solid. There are some frustrating things about it, but for the most part,
it
takes itself very seriously.
It very much does, and it sometimes feels a little uncomfortable in terms of like a little how heavy, like not heavy-handed the racial allegories are, but just.
No, it's kind of heavy-handed.
Yeah, but like I don't know, because like some people were saying that they could have like referenced it more it didn't
really bother me, but yeah, I thought the whole game is kind of. I mean, it's just a social commentary game.
Yeah, it's literally relating the plight of potential future androids to that of like.
I love the X-Men. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
they've been doing it for 50 years.
That's fair. So this game you play as 3 different protagonists. You play as Marcus, as Kara, and as Connor. Almost forgot Connor. Connor's probably my second favorite in this game. Kara, who I thought was going to be my favorite.
Last.
Yeah, definitely last. Dead last.
Is that Valerie Curry?
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, she's super cute, though.
She is. She's and, like, I find her character...
It's her. Like, it just looks exactly like her.
I find her character to be endearing, and
it's
I find
the
story to be good, but
the others were just better. She had one of the best levels. Haunted House. not haunted, but House of Horrors, let's say.
There's definitely some cool stuff in that level for sure. We're going to try and stay away from spoilers as much as we can.
Yeah, I'm not saying what happens there, but I just thought that level was probably a top 3 level for me in the game.
Yeah.
There's some like moment of the year candidates in this.
There's definitely some.
I don't like the button movements, mainly because at first it does not really explain like
yeah, if you're not
press
used
down,
to,
circle the thing, and I was just like, what the fuck is happening?
That's what they did in like all of their other games.
My problem is I didn't feel like it's pretty good, but not like precise responsive, and sometimes you have to be very fast about it or you will miss an action. And I sometimes I didn't feel like it was my fault if I missed an action.
See, yeah, I don't think I actually missed any actions that I wanted in this game. I'm like, for me, it was more the time.
Like Marcus in the highway, like you had to be fast.
Yeah.
And if I wasn't ready for it at the beginning, and I still hit it, but like it didn't register like what my thumb did.
Why am I not remembering him in the highway?
You probably didn't get that branch of it.
In the highway.
Yeah.
That involved a very specific. This is one of the biggest branching storyline things.
It's insane. Like at the end of each chapter,
and it is daunting. Like they're all like you see the full tree without what like is
what
on each
is.
line,
Right.
and like it starts off, and then throughout you can go chapter by chapter, and let's say it starts off this big. The bigger chapters are like that at the end of it
For the possible
it's
branching.
like
all
it's
the
like
possible
it's
outcomes.
literally like an NCAA bracket. Like,
That's
but
kind of cool.
it's like
it's
more and
the
more
coolest
insane.
thing in the game. It's really fucking
And you
cool.
can compare yourself to like worldwide statistics or just your friend's statistics, so you can see who had the same path as you.
I
You
like
and I
running games like
deviated a little bit, but mostly did the same thing.
We were very similar. Like if I was prepared more for it, like at the time wrote down like what all I got. Like I had some stuff. I had one thing that like 0.9% of the population got as one of my major choices, and then most of us had at least similar. Like me, you and Brady were playing at the same time, so and you can see exactly. Well, you can see what you've done, you can see what the world's done, and you can see what your friends have done for their choices and like where they went throughout the story. As long as it doesn't spoil something for you, you'll see. You just see. Yes.
Yeah,
Just way
but
more elaborate, it
Like
sounds like.
literally, yeah,
Way
like,
more-
drilled down to every single decision.
Way more in a visual representation through like a bracket.
Yeah, you're not trying to compare the two, but
No,
I mean,
it's an accurate comparison.
Yes, it is a warranted comparison for sure.
It's fun, but Marcus and Connor like are easily the most two interesting things.
now every time I hear Kana,
Connor,
He kind of has that vibe to him. Clancy Brown is in this as well, who is Connor's partner. He's
his Connor's partner.
Connor is is the android you play, who
He's
is
a cop.
basically sent. Yeah, he is the android assistant that's been sent by the company who creates the androids to assist in investigating what they call deviants, which are the outlying androids who have broken their programming
Self-aware.
and are either self-aware, potentially self-aware, or have harmed humans, which they're not supposed to be able to do. Clancy Brown is
Breaking like your wall and like becoming a deviant is really cool when you
the
do
way
it.
they represent it each time is really cool. I like that it's also different per character when you do it.
You can technically you can lose main characters and only play like you can lose
Kara in her first scene.
Yeah, you can lose the girl in her very first chapter and you never play the rest of her story and you just finish the other two people. Like if
Is
you
the same people who did a Heavy Rain?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to me, it's better than Heavy Rain. It's better
Is that
than
why you keep
Beyond
saying
Two
Kona?
Souls.
Corner.
Okay.
It is much better than Heavy Rain.
Okay. How many times has Jason said?
0.
Wow.
Maybe once. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Jason
God,
character.
if they did, I would have been pissed.
I was
Right
surprised
there
by
the
some of-
credits, you press like the X. It's just Jason.
He just starts wandering around in the background. I will say, like, a post-game thing without spoiling too much was like one of my favorite little lore building things
The
ever.
survey?
The survey, no. What you do with your assistant on the menu.
Oh, fuck that, man.
They patched it
Oh, did they?
where you could change it, but
Oh, okay. I was mad. I was so mad.
it's so fucking cool though. Like, because I haven't changed it back yet. For me, I'm just like, I'm stuck. Like, I don't know if you guys want us to spoil or anything or not. I don't want to spoil too much of it.
I mean, it's a
that
story-based game, so I
Yeah, that has nothing to do bearing on the story whatsoever.
it's not.
Man, the characters in this game are fucking realistic looking. It's gorgeous.
Oh, it's an amazing looking game. Like there are some things that don't look as good as others.
Yeah.
The main characters are obviously rendered like way more than the other characters
Yeah,
in the
you
game
get that.
sometimes. But for the most part, the backgrounds are pretty sharp, but the main characters are all like lifelike. You're like, Jesus Christ.
Did you go back and like watch any of the videos of like all the little Easter eggs throughout? Like, if you,
I saw some. Basically, I don't want to look at too much because I do want to do another full playthrough, because there's basically I can do one playthrough and basically cover most of what I missed by doing 2 full playthroughs.
Yeah.
Now there are 1,000 variants that I could to get
Sure.
to 100% the game. I'd have to play this like a stupid amount of times. But once you beat it, you can go back and play like certain sections, like
little
for 5
things,
minutes.
like without spoiling too much. But like if Todd lives,
Oh, sorry.
like when you're playing a Connor scene later on, and you're like in the police station,
Corner.
Todd is there in the background, like giving a report on what happened.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, no, fuck him. He died. For me, he died very hard.
If you lose a character, you're like, no.
Yeah, I'm very pissed about how
like
one of
I
my
almost
stories...
like just turned the game off. I was like, fuck. It was bad, and I did lose a character.
This one.
I lost a character as well.
I got
but man,
good
it
ending.
Because
happened.
can you
Very
finish
fucking end.
I got
Heavy Rain
good
with
ending.
everybody dead?
Yeah. Yeah, there was like 50
I'm
different possibilities.
better at the end of
Yeah,
this
shut
game
up,
than
man.
you are.
Yeah, because you did something immoral.
It was right.
It was not right.
How can that be right and immoral?
Because you care for someone.
Yeah, it's really hard to explain. I almost made the same decision.
Moral
he did, but because I
immorality?
didn't.
Ethical immorality?
There's actually, yeah, I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's something cool with that scene that we're talking about too. If you play it differently, there's so many, like, there are just so many moments for me that really stand out, like, as just super cool. Marcus with the march is like one of my favorite moments. For me, the singing ending for Marcus, which I won't talk about more than that. What was the character? Luther. Luther is like my secret favorite character in that game. I love
the big
that
black guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah, there are so many moments, and it's spread out between all of the 3 different characters, so that like I would feel very upset if one of those characters had died and I hadn't gotten to those points. Like, I think they balanced it really well. For me, it's one of my favorite, like I said, just straight story-based games that I've ever played.
Yeah, I really love this. Like, it is definitely. Yeah, it's not top 5 for me because unless there are some major fucking
Like
disappointments
letdowns,
in
like
the fall.
If Red Dead somehow comes out and sucks,
Like,
and Spider-Man gets pushed.
Like, I fully expect Red Dead,
According
Tomb
to
Raider, and Spider-Man to all
have my
be top
crispy
5
$5
games.
bill,
for me.
sir.
You'll get your $5 bill if it happens, which it won't.
No, you won't.
Like
Yeah, it's
like
Chuck, I wouldn't
calling
pay
it
him. I'd
now,
give it to
like
you.
I will be shocked if my
you
top 5
won't.
games in some order are not God of War,
Red
Far
Dead.
Cry, Red Dead, Spider-Man, and Tomb Raider. Like, that just seems like my top 5. Like, something's
replace
gone
Far Cry,
awry.
and you're missing the most important game coming out in December. Which is
Just
Cause
Cause
3.
Just Cause is most likely a top 10 game for me.
4. You're right. My bad. I did say 3. God, I can't wait for Just
Josh
Cause.
is bringing it back.
I
Just
really,
Cause 3
man.
coming back
I
to the
almost
top 10
downloaded
list
it again
near
after
you.
E3.
Also, Hitman.
It's for you. Yeah, for me, this would take like that spot.
Someone else get it. I wanna
Smash
play that sniper
Brothers.
mode.
Fallout 76?
Fallout
I'm gonna
could
play
be-
Fallout. I'm
Man,
gonna
it's-
get
it's- Video games are stupid this year, man. It's gonna be a crazy top.
I'm
10.
excited.
I really am too.
Except
but
I
it's-
have a newborn. I'll just be like,
just keep volunteering for being the person to stay up while she's not sleeping.
Hey, I'll play 76 with you while you're like feeding or something like that. Well, this will be a way I can talk to you.
flop her in the lap, put the bottle in, play
Yeah.
the video games.
Shoney, Daddy's got to go set off a nuke.
Yeah.
I'll be there too. I'll play.
No,
Oh, can our team be called Nuke Gingrich?
I don't know why I wouldn't.
We'll
Makes
workshop
sense.
that, but that's a clear front runner right now. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. This has been Free for All. Make sure you check out the earlier shows we did in which we talked about the news, our days.
Faster,
You know
dump
what?
time.
Raise the fucking roof. Let's go. Thanks for watching.